So what are our first mods for the Sur-Ron X? That's coming right up. Hey everyone, my name is Rick Cordero. Welcome to RunPlayBack, where we help you with video and tech tips to lead a more efficient and affordable lifestyle. Let's be creative and save money at the same time. Today, we're gonna check out the first mods that we made for our Sur-Ron X electric bike. We'll talk about what we did, do a group ride with some friends, and share links to all the parts in the description. So let's get to it. All right, we have a new package for the Sur-Ron X. Apologies if the noise is kind of loud. I'm in my backyard and they are trimming some trees. Here it is, the Supermoto conversion kit. One measly nylon strap. The box is not in the best condition. Hopefully there's no damage inside. Rear wheel, CST, 17-inch, 90, 80, 17. Let's check out the front wheel. Assuming this is the chain. And comes with the rotors installed. Yep, so we got spacers for the wheels. So here's the wheels next to the stock wheels. That height difference is pretty drastic. All right, so let's put these on and see how these feel. So this is the Supermoto conversion kit from LunaCycle. So Supermoto is basically street tires on a dirt bike. The rims are 17 inches, so it lowers the bike. My feet are closer to the ground. It does feel more comfortable to have a lower center of gravity. I like it. I also like the looks of it. We're riding this primarily on the street. If you look on this side, the width is much thinner on the front tire. Rear is thicker. The next mod that we did that I mentioned in the previous video are these Kaniwaba pedals. Now you'll notice that I got the shorter crank arms, and these are actually Onyx pedals, so I took this from the stock Onyx. So these don't actually propel the bike. I haven't installed the kit to connect it to the chain or the electronic cadence sensor that they have now. It's basically just so my feet can be higher or lower depending on how I'm riding. These brackets are actually just a little more durable than the stock ones. There's also this brace bar, which acts as the, I guess, the pedal bar as well. And there's some bearings in here. So it does actually support the bike having this bar right here. So it's not completely useless or just for show. It's also, you know, good for riding around town and being more of an electric bike. I know that's a little bit controversial to have pedals on something that doesn't actually pedal, but I can add it if I want to later on. So the next upgrade that we got is this GritShift Headlight. So this is a plug-and-play headlight that GritShift makes, and it's available on Amazon. And this light bar is really, really bright. I'll turn it on. So this is much brighter than the stock headlight. It can be very blinding to people who are about, 5 to 6 feet away. If you're in a car or someone's in a vehicle, I think it's fine. I think it, diffuses well if someone's looking at you through a windshield, but just like standing like this, it's really bright. And I have my sunglasses on, and it's like, I can't look at it directly. To, avoid blinding people, I just kind of tilt it down so it's pointing more towards the ground and it's not as strong. Also attached to the headlight is a headlight kill switch, and that's this guy right here. So this is just your generic kill switch. GritShift makes a harness for it, so it actually connects between the controller and the headlight, and it has the Sur-Ron connector, so it's just plug and play. So very useful to turn off the headlight and conserve your battery power. It doesn't actually turn off the taillight, but that's fine. This is more for like riding a little more stealth and not having the super bright light draining your battery. We also added these new grips. Riding with these new grips for a while now, it's really comfortable. It has this nice pattern on it, so it really feels like the grip is much stronger, the rubber is thicker, so the throttling is just way more precise, I think. For the mirrors, I have this bar end mirror. It's kind of small, but I also want to keep the bike aesthetic to this setup, so we just have one bar end mirror on the left side. Also, we got this display relocator. So this little bracket actually relocates the display, and to do that, you basically unscrew it from the stock switch, and then you put it on this bracket, and then you can move this away. This is like the only way you can sort of mount it. So it is kind of like going in at an angle, but that's fine. And then the big mod that we did, which I'll get into in another video because it's kind of complex, is the custom lighting. The headlight, obviously, but we also have these fork light indicators, as well as the side indicators. And then the taillight is an aftermarket taillight, and it has these kind of dual circles over here with the LEDs, and also a license plate holder that's connected to it. This is kind of a popular rig that you see on some Super73s and Onyxes. I like it because it pretty much fits on the mounting bracket of the Sur-Ron. You just have to add like two like straight brackets to the side, but it's super easy to mount. You could like find those in a hardware store. And then to switch it, I added this aftermarket switch. And so that's the reason why I relocated the display. So I had to hook up the wiring from the old switch to the new switch. And so this right here, you have the low beam, high beam switch, and instead of low beam, high beam, it's connected to the economy mode and then sport mode. So that's economy and that's sport. And then the horn is obviously the horn. And then the turn signals, you have the right signal. And so the fork lights up here. You have the side light over here. And then in the back, you'll see that the tail light also lights up. And then when it's on the middle, you just have these day running lights, white, and then side is white, and then left is same thing, just on the left. So it's very similar to our Onyx setup. It's very similar to our 72 volt Super73 Z1 setup. And since it's sequential, the lights are moving down. So it's like, it has this really like flowing aerodynamic feel to it. The only thing is that it's not really in sync with the fork lights. It's not really in sync with the relay. The fork and the tail lights are moving in the same speed, but because this has a built-in relay, it's a little bit off, but not a big deal. But I will create another video that shows you just how I connected the wires, the colors, and things like that. But it still requires a little bit of electrical knowledge. Overall, this was way easier to wire up because all I had to do was tap into the 12 volt of this headlight here, and then the 12 volts coming out of the tail light. So you don't have to install any step down converters or anything like that. So now that we added our mods, we're gonna meet up with some friends and head to the Diag at the University of Michigan. What are we trying to do here?
We're trying to get this bike out of this car. So I've stuffed it into the back or the trunk of my Mazda, and this is how I've been traveling with my bike for the past.
I feel like you need a hitch.
I definitely need a hitch.
Should I put the camera down and
you can watch me struggle. That works too.
It's out.
Get it out.
I tried a bunch of those like pedal assist bikes out for a while. I didn't even know this type of bike existed at the time. And they're pretty quick, but I preferred something with a full throttle. I had two RCRs and I actually sold one yesterday to someone else. Yep. I expected my friends and brother to ride with me more, and no one ever did. So pretty stock. Not a whole lot special about this one.
Oh, it's special. I had this newfound respect for just keeping things stock. It is. Did anyone tell you it was only batteries only?
That is definitely not a stock front headlight, right?
No, I actually modded the lights yesterday. The wiring is actually a lot easier on this thing, believe it or not.
We're at the Diag, Ann Arbor, Michigan right now, and a couple other events going on, so we picked a heck of a day to come straight to the middle of downtown. This is going to be a pretty familiar bike, I'm sure, to a lot of you. Standard stock RCR, really. I haven't done a whole lot to it. Added really one mirror here, phone mount, garage door opener, front bag, that's about it. There is a tracker hidden somewhere on here, so no bright ideas, I will find you. And this is the third I have owned total. Yeah, one thing I want to improve, ooh, that's a good question. It's not having a real firm, established ecosystem for shops that would work on this type of bike yet. It's coming, I know it, but as of right now, it's a lot of do-it-yourself. And there are some things I can do pretty easily, some things I can't. That's probably the only complaint I have.
This is your bike, my friend, but you are generous and grateful enough to let me ride it from time to time. So on evenings like these when we do our group rides, it kind of feels like it's my bike. A little bit. Riding the motorcycle downtown is totally doable, but the e-bike is so nice. You have to worry about paying attention, braking, throttling. You don't have to downshift. You don't have to worry about your clutch, upshifting, things like that. First time I was about to ride the Sur-Ron, you told me, be careful because the motor is in a different place, the torque feels different, it will be very, very easy to accidentally pop the bike out from under you and immediately wheelie. The Onyx does not have that problem. You crank the throttle and it's got more weight to it, not as much weight as my Honda, but that's fine. I mean, I still feel like I can counter steer this bike and throw it around if I had to swerve. No biggie.
I've got an Ariel Rider X Class 48 volt. It's my first e-bike. I did a little bit of research before, kind of officially diving into the e-bike world, and really I wanted something that was within my budget. I didn't want to spend more than $2K. I obviously looked at a lot of reviews online. I joined a couple of Facebook groups before I actually bought the bike, just so I could kind of see what other people were saying about the bike. People are modding their bikes, people are kind of helping people to figure out what they can do better. If something's broken, they kind of help them to fix it. So I kind of liked that it seemed very open and welcoming in terms of just a community of people. This is my first time kind of riding in traffic on a regular basis, and it's definitely different doing the arm signals when you're going about 15 or 20. So I've put a bunch of bags on it. I have a rack, but I definitely want to get some signals on the back and on the front so that I can let cars know that I'm coming.
So this is my third bike. This is the Sur-Ron X Black Edition. Started with the Super73 Onyx RCR. Now I'm on the Sur-Ron. I wasn't really thinking about getting a Sur-Ron, but I noticed that they were in stock at LunaCycle, and usually these things take a few weeks to sometimes a few months to deliver. And I saw that it was in stock and that it would deliver in 5 days. And I was just generally really curious about this bike. I mean, it literally looks like a transformer landed on Earth and then turned itself into a motorcycle. It looks like a dirt bike, but it also kind of looks like a mountain bike. And the suspension is just super, super cool. You could take this off jumps, of drops and stuff, and it just feels really good, So that's what I like about it. It can hit 0 to 31 miles per hour in about 4 seconds. It's really kind of powerful. It's not as heavy as the Onyx. It's a little bit more maneuverable. I feel like I could get out of crazy tight situations on this thing more than the Onyx. So the one thing that I would improve with this bike is the seat. It's not a lot of padding on it. It's literally just this hard plastic cover, seat pan, and then just a little bit of cushion. And the way it's angled, it's kind of after a few long rides, it gets kind of uncomfortable.
So I got the Super73 Duped Up Edition, the V-Force one. It's a hell of a ride. Riding it through town, I love it. Like getting through traffic, not having to pay for gas, that's also a plus. And it looks cool. It attracts a lot of attention. Everyone wants to know, like, what kind of bike is this? What is it? Is this even a bike? And I'm like, yeah, like, you see the pedals? But I found a few people interested in the Super73. Yeah, just riding around and letting them know that we have a community. Yeah, they get real interested, especially when you're around Ann Arbor. It improved my lifestyle a lot. I'm always on the go, so having to get in my car, turn it on, back out, wait in traffic all the time, like, that's a pain for me. And sometimes, like, I just want to, like, get up and go. I just want to go get food. I just want to go down the street, go to work, and having a car is unnecessary in times like that. And I feel real good with my carbon footprint right now.
So those are the first mods that we made to the Sur-Ron X Black Edition, and we shared links to all the parts in the description. In the next video, we'll walk through our custom lighting kit for the Sur-Ron X so you can make your own. If you have any questions or suggestions, just leave them in the comments below. If you want to dive into more video and tech tips, click the links on the side and remember to like and subscribe so we can help you find tech deals that fit your lifestyle. We'll see you guys in the next video.